Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to Heroes Hour. This is an indie game that came out in the beginning of March in 2022, and if you've ever played Heroes of Might and Magic, then you're going to feel right at home with this game, because it is very, very similar. But I must say, for an indie game, it's actually got a tremendous amount of diversity and replayability, which is pretty awesome, and that's why I wanted to show it off today. Let's go ahead and start up a new game. Now, you first have to start by choosing a map. There are many to pick from, which will increase the number of enemies you are going to fight or how many neutral territories you could contest, which is pretty cool. But for my game, I'm going to go ahead and play with a duel. This is just a simple 1v1 against another AI, no neutral territories to fight over. So a nice quick game. Then you get to choose your faction, and there are 12 different factions to choose from, ranging from the Holy Paladins to Arcanists and Djinns, Cthulhu monsters, demons, or hordes of goblins and cyclopses, that kind of thing. Every faction is going to be different with their own unique units, a few unique buildings, and some different abilities to make their playability a little bit different. That's why I'm saying there's a lot of diversity in this game. For my game, I'm going to go ahead and play with the Decay. These are the undead faction, and their entire mantra is to kill enemies and then raise their corpses as new soldiers to bolster your ranks. So ideally, we should be getting a lot stronger very quickly as long as we keep our casualties to a minimum and kill a lot of enemies quickly. Now, once you choose your faction, you have to choose one of 6 different heroes, which can be split up into 2 different categories, melee or caster. Every faction is going to have a different special ability, whether you are melee or caster. In the case of Decay, we're going to have the Curse of Undeath. Melee characters will spread that curse with their attacks, and the casters will spread it with their spells. This means that when we have affected an enemy with the Curse of Undeath and then kill it, it will rise up as some sort of a skeletal unit, which we can use for future fights, again making us stronger. Then you have your secondary abilities, and these are pretty darn important, and you can also see the talent trees for each individual hero. This is really, really important to keep an eye on. I'm not going to read through absolutely every one. The one I'm going to go for here is called Hard Soul. And Hard Soul has Necromancy. Necromancy is going to make it so that when I defeat an enemy army, I can spend some of my mana to raise them up as new units. So between both the Curse and the Necromancy, we should be getting a lot of units very, very quickly. As far as an enemy, I could randomize it, but you know, it'd be kind of fun to play against the Holy Order. That way we're fighting undead versus paladins, right? I like that idea. Let's go ahead and start up a new game. It's going to generate a map. And before we go anywhere, let's go ahead and take a look at our capital city. So if you click on this button right here, we can see our city and its layout. Every city looks a little bit different. Then we're going to click on this building, which allows us to build something. You can build one structure every turn. Very important you do this, probably the first thing you do every single turn. We could get things like a crypt or an upgrade to our graveyard, which increases how many units we can recruit, different types of units, stronger units, all pretty important. We could also get a tavern, which I will do. And then every faction has unique structures, in my case, the Soul Beacon, which catches the souls of enemies so we can start turning them into new soldiers over time. So it increases how many we'll be able to recruit, which is pretty darn great. The more we fight, the more units I get. But I will go for a tavern first. Why? Because then I can recruit new heroes. Heroes are very important. I'm going to recruit 2 of them right away. Why? Because heroes come with their own little armies. And with those armies, what we can do is send them to join up with my primary hero and create a death stack. That's very, very useful because it means you can take on larger forces earlier in the game. And the less casualties you take by overwhelming your enemies, the more you're going to snowball. In the meantime, these 2 heroes are now going to function like my scouts. The first thing we want to do is take a look at this red obelisk, which is basically a treasure hunt. So we pick that up. This kind of gives us an unclear vision of where some treasure might be. No idea what it's going to look like until we pick up some more of these red obelisks over here. So we're going to do that in a minute. In fact, we'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's just go ahead and do that. That's going to clear out the vision. Ideally, by the time you find 3 of these, you have a pretty good idea what you're doing. But sometimes it's really hard to find that treasure. You really never know what you're going to get. Let's see. Let's go ahead and explore a little bit off in this direction. Okay, we found there's an alchemy lab that is unclaimed. I want to go grab this. This will get me a resource called Mercury and send it back to my city every day, every turn. And with the other scouts, let's see, we could get some treasure. I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. Let's actually first see what we might want to attack. Near impossible, moderate, moderate. We can fight some wolves and get, let's say, some sawmills, or we could go for a Temple of Ordering, which lets us spend Mercury mana and gold and make units. I think we'll end up fighting this. So we'll send you over here, grab this crystal, leave the treasure chest, because it sometimes leaves good stuff for your hero to pick up. Did find a roaming neutral army. Not going to worry about that right now. I'm looking for more of those obelisks. I want to find the treasure as early as possible. The faster you can find that, usually you can get a lot of really good artifacts. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into our first round of combat. Actually, first, let's just see if there's anything I can hire. Yes, there is. Let's go ahead and hire a bunch more skeletons. There we go. The more units we have, the better our offense, the less casualties we'll take. Then we're going to go ahead and attack these wolves. And yoinkus. Now, once you're in a fight, you'll see that this is an auto-battler. And some of you guys might roll your eyes at that, but don't, because this actually does have a surprising amount of tactics. Some units are going to have special abilities, and they're hard counters to other types of units. There's definitely a lot of tactics in positioning. It's actually a little bit more involved than you might think, so don't get all snobby with me. Now, I do want to have my hero up toward the front. The hero, of course, is able to do a lot of damage, but weirdly enough, heroes, when they die, they don't actually get removed from combat. They just pull back, regenerate their health, and then get right back into things. And as long as you win the overall combat, your hero's going to get right back to full health. So there's really no reason not to let your hero do some of the tanking if you can. All right, so this seems kind of okay. I'm going to have some of these guys flank around to some of the wolves if possible. We'll start the battle, and before we go anywhere, I do want to cast a curse. This is going to cost some of my mana, but remember, I spread the Curse of Undeath by doing something. So we're going to wait until this curse is available, then we're going to click on it, and we're going to use it on as many of these wolves as possible. Okay, so all of these have now been affected. When we kill them, they might rise up as new units for me. Okay, let's go ahead and move this to speed 2. We can't cast another round for a little bit. We will if we can, though. There's plenty more of these wolves. And click. We'll only get a tiny bit of value. You know, I'm going to go ahead and save the mana for the next fight. We weren't going to get anything there. So we lost a lot of skeletons out of that, but we also gained a few units, 5 units to make up for 22, plus we got a lot of experience. All right. We could also spend some mana to raise up some rot walkers. I'm going to say these zombies aren't that great. I'd rather drain them, and the next time we can use necromancy, we make it a little bit cheaper. Now we can decide what to do with some of our skills, because we have leveled up. I could get malediction to be a little bit stronger, so we have even more Curse of Undeath. We could go for necromancy, which lets me get even more elite units. Regeneration gets me more mana. Legion would make my weak units a bit stronger, and that's actually pretty significant. Bloodlust, no. Mastery, vampires, that could be kind of nice. I'm going to go for Legion and make my weak little guys a lot stronger, because that ends up being like a pretty significant improvement for them. Let's go ahead and claim the sawmill. I'm going to leave these resources for my scouts, though. We need to save as much movement for our hero as we can. I'm going to head down toward probably this treasure chest, see if we can get anything over there. And then we're going to end the turn because there's nothing else to do. Every turn is 1 day, and of course 7 days are in a week. And at the end of the week, you find yourself getting a lot more units at your capital. So the end of the new week is when you can start getting a lot more recruits. Titan gloves. More attack, a lot of it, but slower units. I think that's a fine trade to make in this case, so we'll do it. And then I want to start heading up over here in a second. Let's first go to my capital, see if there's anything else I can get. The sooner we get the soul beacon, the more value I get out of it, so we'll go ahead and pick that up. So we can catch some souls and start generating extra units. Nothing else to be done over here at the moment, though. Then we want to go up over here and probably attack these wolves as well, so let's go ahead and do that now. And let's see, there's actually some anima. These are flying units. They're going to be a little bit annoying, but not a big deal, really. Send the hero up toward the front, of course. Probably some skeletons over this way, and then the rest can go over here, I guess. I mean, we could actually let them come to me to a degree, and that's not a bad idea either. I think I will do that. Let's let them come over here to me. I'm going to set these guys on defensive, start the battle, and we're going to cast a curse. And we're going to sort of sit back, and then we're going to set these guys on attack. Let them go here. What this did is just buy me a few more seconds to maybe cast another curse, which weakens them and also spreads more Curse of Undeath, which I obviously like for a lot of obvious reasons. Still losing some more skeletons. They're definitely not very strong, but, you know, them's the rubs. Let's go ahead and cast another one. There's actually a lot of units we can cast on here, so that gets me a lot of extra value. Definitely like the idea of being able to cast it twice per battle if we can. That's just a lot of extra units. And these skeletons are really weak, so I don't mind trading some of them out for ideally some stronger units, including more archers and so on. That's not too bad. But we're not looking very strong yet. Could get some bone shooters. It would only cost me 4 mana. A handful of bone shooters, you know, some archer units isn't a bad idea. I'll go ahead and raise them, make myself a little stronger. And then the Temple of Ordering, I'll pop in here and see what we can do. We could spend some mercury, if I had it, to get a lot of anima, lots of flying units. You know, that's not half bad, if only I could find some mercury. Well, you can pop over here for 1, claim that. That's going to get me a bit more. We could get some Titan boots. I'll pick this up as well. We'll probably drop that off with our hero, again slowing down our creature speed, but getting us a lot of extra life. I do also want to get this red obulus, so we can try to unveil the treasure a little bit sooner. Okay, So you guys are going to probably grab this ore, and then head up over this direction. Cannot get this mercury without contesting it with an army. Could get a treasure chest. I guess I don't mind doing that. So there's an ore mine over here, some sulfur, a camp. Yeah, probably more things we could fight off in that direction. And let's have you just grab the wood since you're right here, and then head off in this direction to make it easier for me to pick up the Titan boots when we're done. Okay, anything else to do? Nope, end turn. Perfect. There we go. All right. And this is kind of what the game is going to be for a little bit. And the early couple weeks of this game are really all about trying to stack up as many units as fast as you can, because by the end of like week 2 or 3, that's when the AI is absolutely going to start coming for you, and you need to be ready for them. You really need to be ready, or else they're going to eat your lunch. I do see a lot more red obelisks over here, and I do need to start working toward that. But how much mercury do I have? Could I possibly get some of that anima? The answer is yes, we totally could. So let's accept this. Get 40 more units, which is a lot. And with that, we could probably take on some extra fights. Now, animas are really not that strong, but at least it gives me a few options. We could fight some more wolves for some ore. I guess that's okay. Let's first see. I can possibly get over here. Then we're going to send the hero over here, and we're going to pick up the boots, drop them off. Can I get some more units? Soul Transmuter. This would let me get even more soul power. That's worth getting early. The sooner you do that, the more units you can start spawning for sure. Still nothing else to do there, though. Out of money, could transfer out at least a couple of skeletons and send these guys to go join up with my primary force. Like so. And then you, honestly, head down here. We're going to start getting these red obelisks. Hero, you're going to walk over this direction, and we're going to have to go deal with the wolves. That's kind of the only easy fight that I can take on right now. Let's leave. Nah, we'll go ahead and grab the treasure could be worth experience for my main hero. That's why I want to leave it. Let's go for the camp instead. That gets me some movement. We found a Palace of Decay. Getting this is really good if you can. It is worth not only a bit of money, but also generates a lot more creatures at the end of the week, which is pretty huge. But it's also usually very well defended, and there's nothing I can do about that at the moment, so yikes. Let's just head down here. We'll grab some more gold from this camp, and also some extra movement. And then that's kind of all we can do with this guy at the moment. I guess we'll start picking up like this wood that I was talking about earlier. All right, and the turn again. Again, before we do anything else, let's go to our capital here. Could go for a crypt for some extra unit types. Could also get the fort, which would lead to a haunt, and those are some pretty good units. Yeah, the fort I don't need until the end of the week, but I mean, it's not a terrible thing to get. Marketplace would lead to the Tomb of Silence. That's pretty good. Guild of Mages, upgrade the graveyard. I guess I'm going to grab the fort. Okay, unit choice. The only option right now is to just generate skeletons extremely fast. So that's going to have to do. You guys tried... you can't quite get over here. Hang on, we can do something sneaky. Head over here. Grab this. Transfer the units. Run up here. Transfer the units. And there we go. That's why having all these extra heroes is really, really advantageous, because it means that you're going to be able to use them to basically just transfer things around. They gain extra movement once they go back into a hero's army. So we find a clarified vision. We'll clarify it even more. Okay, so now I have a pretty good sense of where the treasure is, and actually my main hero is already heading here. It's probably right here. So that actually works out fantastically for me. Let's go ahead and attack. Well, actually, I'll grab the treasure chest for a quick little bit of XP, or Warrior's Greaves, which is really good. But I'd rather... would I rather get XP? You know, better defense and attack is also acceptable. We'll go ahead and take that to make my unit stronger. Then we're going to run in here and deal with some wolves. There we go. That ended up being a pretty painless fight. I will be jumping forward a little bit going forward, because I would like to actually, you know, win this match for you in this video if I can. Rotwalkers, not worth it. We're just going to go ahead and drain and make them cheaper for the future. And I think I will take regeneration. This is going to let me generate extra mana per turn. And the more mana I have, the more things I'll be able to raise, and the more spells I can cast, the stronger I'm going to get. So let's go ahead and grab the ore quarry since we're here. And then we want to take a quick look here. So it's probably right here if I had to guess. Let's move here to start. Actually, it's right here. Perfect. All right. Dig the treasure, and we find some stuff. What's this? Rabbit's Charm, extra luck. That's not bad. Plus faster moving units. Okay. And we're out of movement, so next turn I'll have to grab this. Also, Rabbit's Feet, extra estates skill. I'll be honest, I do not remember what that does. Morale is an option. Luck means that our creatures have a chance to get critical hits. Spell power, knowledge, defense, and attack. The estate skill must be an actual talent, but I don't remember what it does. We're going to find out in a bit. Okay, back in my capital, I did just get an upgrade for the haunts. Once you do reach a certain development level, you're going to get a randomized bonus. So we could have our hero go back to the main capital and then get +2 defense permanently, which isn't bad. Could also just increase how many raw resources we get per week. It's only once a week, though, so that's not great. Grand Bazaar, if we want to get a marketplace, we can trade stuff at a better rate. I guess I'll take the Mithril Armor so we'll have stronger units, and I am going to get the Death Seeker. These guys are immortal, so we want them on the front lines tanking a lot of hits, and then afterwards they'll just go ahead and return, so that's actually pretty darn good. And we can go ahead and hire a bunch of them. Let's do that now. And then we'll probably want to use a hero to, you guessed it, send it right back up over here. I think I'm going to take the risk and try to get this Palace of Decay. It's so much extra income and generates so many more creatures, and we're getting close to the end of the week, so this is pretty good. It's going to be a dangerous fight, and it's going to cost me a lot, though. So let's be wary of that. But the Death Seekers should help, so we'll send them up to the front line. Caster not far behind. Anima, I'm going to have these guys flank around and try to do as much damage as they can there. Zombies are slow, so we'll have them be up toward the front. Maybe the vampires over here, archers over here, and I guess this is going to have to do for the moment. All right, so the goal really, actually, maybe we should draw them more toward me. The goal here is going to be to delay long enough that we can get some extra weaken off and get a lot of Curse of Undeath. Let's go ahead and start that battle. All right, so cast the weaken right away on, let's say, all these things. And then let's just sort of see what happens. Hopefully this ends up being okay. Increase the speed. And we'll get off another cast if I can. I definitely expect to lose a lot of units here. But again, I think in the long run, it's worth it. Another weaken. Pass it off on... Looks like we can get a handful of guys over here. Sure, we'll do this. Makes them weaker, so they take more damage. They die faster. So we save a few units as a result. The 40 anima we picked up actually has been pretty helpful. Very good for flanking the enemy. All right, so we got that. Lost, yep, a lot, including all my vampires. That sucks. But we did get a few units out of that, including some bone Lyths, which is pretty decent. But yeah, most of my army has been absolutely decimated as a result. Really hope I'm right on that. Ah, that's too expensive. All right, well, we're going to have to drain them and make the next thing a little bit cheaper. More necromancy could be good. Mastery, so we get some free vampires, 2 per week. That's worth it in this case. I'd like to go ahead and get free units, and then let's go ahead and claim this Palace of Decay. All right, little painful, but it's okay. And I see some more guys down over here that we'll be able to use to try and bolster my ranks a little bit more. At my capital, I'm going to go ahead and get a Center of Decay. This increases my income, and as much as I would love to get something that's going to generate more units by the end of the next week, if I don't have enough income to actually buy them, then there's not really a whole lot of point in any of this, is there? So yeah, that'll have to be good enough for the moment. Something I'm going to do right here is attack this ancient tomb. It says that it's easy. Not sure I believe it. It looks like some big scary nasties in here, but it is almost the end of the week, and if we pick this up right now, we're going to get a free super upgraded vampire by next turn. So if we're going to do this, this is the time to get the max value out of it. So that seems like a really good option for me. Another thing we could do here is the Throne of the Dead. Turn living creatures in the garrison into undead creatures, and then boost the soul power when used. Tempting, but I think what I'd rather do is go ahead and get a crypt right now, and we'll probably get zombies. I mean, they're pretty tanky, but the tarantulas are faster and do more damage, and they can slow enemies. I think I'd rather take the tarantulas. And then we'll go ahead and hire these because they're about to reset at the end of next turn. So again, if we're gonna do it, now is kind of the time. Now, this technically counts as a castle fight, so there is a wall with a bunch of archers on it that I don't even think we can really fight. We can try to scale the walls or burst through the walls. It looks like there's only 4 units back here, so if we can swarm these guys quickly and take them out, that won't be so bad. Let's go ahead and send the Death Seekers up to the front, expendable units up here, and the rest of these guys are probably just going to have to freaking make a run for it and try to cross over the wall as fast as they can. I'm not sure how great this is going to go. But we'll try, we'll try. The answer is we lose very little and gain some pretty good stuff. All right, that's not bad. And 2 extra Banshees for only 3 mana because we've discounted it so much. That's not bad either. All right, so we got that, plus we get a little bit of treasure as well. Sweet, and next turn we're gonna get some new stuff. Okay, jumping forward, we're about to hit the end of week 2. I've managed to conquer a fair bit more. My army has gotten pretty huge with a lot of really good elite units. which basically means we're taking almost no losses. From here on out, though, you know, with these 3 Palaces of Decay getting lots of units, I don't think that we want to do anything else, even though I haven't conquered the rest of my home territory. It's kind of worth, at this point, making a beeline for the enemy. Because if we wait too much longer, then the AI is going to have a chance to catch up, which we obviously do not want. So, this is a good time to go ahead and get a huge resurgence of new units, and then make a beeline for the enemy. So let's get down over here, for example. And let's also go to our capital, where I am making a pretty decent amount of money. I got this Empire of Decay, but it's still not quite enough for what I want. Stronghold, too expensive. Upgrade some beacons. You know, I'm going to get the Guild of Mages, I think. Because this is going to unlock some spells, including, eventually anyway, the ability to do a town portal here, which I think is useful because it means we can actually get our hero to jump back home in the event that something has gone horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. Something I could get is the Hall of Death, which allows me to get either Rot Knights or Bone Worms. Ooh. That could be kind of fun. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick that up. I think Rot Knights would be fine. Bone Worms as a flying unit is pretty good, but I like the extra health and damage of the Rot Knights. So we're going to go ahead and select that. That sounds pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and buy them. Okay, we burst through the gate, and it was a really easy fight for me. Now we're looking for the enemy's capital. Could try working down the road. There it is, Riverside, right there. So I don't know where their main army is, but I mean, if we can get there next turn, then that could be pretty good for me. I do ideally want to be in a position where I could quickly ferry some units back over to them if we need some reinforcements, like some extra soul mages or maybe some extra masks of decay. Let's also see if there's anything else here I really want to buy. Mansion, we still aren't generating any real vampires for myself now, are we? No, we're not. I mean, I don't feel like we absolutely need any of this, to be honest. We're doing pretty well as is. We could go ahead and just get the upgraded Hall of Death and start getting, like, some Life Banes, you know, really good Death Knights. That's not a bad idea. Or maybe upgrade the Graveyard or something. Nah, yeah, all right, we'll go for the upgraded Hall of Death. Why not? It's fun. I don't think we can do anything with it for a while, but it'll be cool someday. Case in point, we actually were able to ferry all these new units over here. Not that I need more over here exactly, you get the idea, but I mean, it's pretty cool. We also might be able to run up over here and actually just start stealing stuff from people, like the Griffin Tower or the Sawmill or whatever. I mean, it could be kind of nice. All right, well, let's end our turn. Let's get ready to go for it. Where's his army going to appear? No idea. I'm not seeing their army anywhere yet. Okay. Well, so much the better. If we snag his city, then he's going to be in a lot of pain. So let's go ahead and attack it. Boom. And he does not have much in the way of a garrison left here, some paragons, halberdiers, and stuff. I don't think the AI was expecting me to attack when I did, so this should be what we call an absolute slaughterfest. And sure enough, it is looking like an absolute slaughterfest. In fact, we're barely losing any units at this point. In fact, we didn't lose any units. My Death Seekers come right back. Right, well, that was pretty darn sweet. Okay, Rot Walkers, no, drain them. Do we even need more Aether things? Nah, not really. All right, so we're going to run in here then, and we're going to claim this city. Now, you would spend 5,000 gold plus some resources to convert it into your own style of city, which we will do. And now we get to decide what we want as far as like a township. Soul Mage Expert, ooh. But I actually need income, so we're gonna go ahead. Oh, wait, but luck? Ooh, but luck is really useful. We're gonna go ahead and take the luck, I suppose. Unit choice, let's grow soul mages a bit faster. We're gonna start making our own masks of decay. And there's a mercenary hall. I can't afford any of that right now. So we have converted it into a proper necropolis. All right, so the only thing left is figuring out where the heck his hero is. But with no income and basically nothing to regenerate his troops, I mean, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble here. Ooh, a brewery. That could be fun. I just wish I had any idea where his army went. They're completely absent. I can steal all of his stuff. Like, his economy is going to take an absolute hit at this point. What is this? A weird idol of fortune? Ooh, luck or morale for the next battle. Yas. Hopefully it will be the end of things. A keep? Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Where are you? Where did you go? Hello? I'm trying to find you so I can win fair and square, please. Ah, there he is. Ah, no, he's attacking the city. Oh, wow, he's got a big griffin boy. A big griffin boy. We're gonna lose this fight for absolute sure. But at least I know where he is, so we can smash him. Yeah, no, we got absolutely obliterated there. That's not really surprising. But he did not take the city. Oh, he did take the city back, but he didn't do anything to swap it back over. Now I have to clear out its garrison of my own units again. Gosh dang it, you annoying little booger. All right, we can catch this guy. This is going to be it, the final battle. He's got quite a few units of his own, but I got 1,000,000 reinforcements. Now, you can only reinforce a certain amount in the field, but as they die, we'll be able to send in more. And honestly, this is for all the marbles. So, like, am I worried about it? Not even a little bit. Let's just make sure we send in some of our biggest, elitist, scariest-looking units, because they're fun to play with. Rain of arrows! Pew, 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 pew! Look at that! That's pretty effective. We've got a whole mess of spells all of a sudden. I'm going to cast some anima over here, which are going to distract all the archers, which should make it easy for my own archers to do some serious work. And then we're going to apply weakness on all of these guys. So that's a huge amount of curse that has been spread around at this point. Not a lot he can do. We could also go for like a salt spray. Sure, why not? We'll just go ahead and cast some extra spells. I mean, at this point, this is the end, right? He probably doesn't have anything left, so I'll spend all my mana making sure we do as much damage to him as possible. Sure, more weakness and all this, just regenerate more troops. That's a big honking griffin, by the way. This thing is doing a lot of damage. He's kind of scary. I don't like him. They were actually able to kill my Death Knight. Aw, that makes me sad. All right, well, cool. Creation, sure, why not? That's not it. You got more. Okay, he's got at least another hero hanging around. Hang on, we just gotta find his little heroes. He can't generate more troops, so this should be easy. Well, found one of them at least. Oh, good lord. Screw it, just go. I mean, it's lazy, I'm aware, but like, forget, like, really, what's he got? You know, nothing. Anima, go distract his archers. His hero's already down, and he's running away. See how easy that was? Yeah, that guy had absolutely nothing on him. Okay, so that's done. And I don't care about the rest. And there we go, we win. Hey, not so bad. So yeah, that's how the duel works. You can imagine this starts to get a little bit frantic at some point, especially if you're fighting against lots of players in a giant free-for-all. It can be pretty crazy. Going for early aggression is absolutely worthwhile, but we did win technically just by the end of week 3. I've beaten it sooner than this before, so I didn't play absolutely perfectly. But to be fair, I also didn't find a lot of the good stuff I kind of would have liked to really become overpowered. The Decay are fun, and this game in general is kind of fun. Again, every faction plays a little bit differently. So you could definitely play this at least a dozen times, if not significantly more than that, and really get your money's worth out of it. If you guys would like to learn more, you can find a link in the description down below for its Steam store page. Otherwise, thank you all very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.